Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to the channel. In this one today, we're going to be ranking every single COD Zombies game. Now, for this one, we have IW, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 4, World at War, World War 2, Black Ops 1, and Cold War. Vanguard does not exist because it's obviously the worst COD Zombies game of all time, so I'm not even going to bother with it. Now, for the tiers, we got S, A, B, C, D, and F. Normal system. And yeah, for this one, we're not going to do any other special criteria and whatnot. Just going to be my personal opinion on what I think is the best game, what I personally grow up with. It's going to be different from your guys' list, so obviously don't attack me. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, now for our first game, we got IW. Now IW, I'm going to put it in the B tier. I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me on that one because IW obviously is a really hated game in general. Not many people like it. But I kind of like IW. When it comes to the multiplayer and campaign, yeah, it has some rough area, not too good in those categories. But with its zombies mode, it's actually really, really good. I like this one a lot. I do love Zombies in Spaceland. It is obviously up there with one of the best maps of all time. Personally, one of my favorites of all time. But it kind of fell off a little bit after Zombies in Spaceland. Like, Rave in the Redwoods wasn't really too much better. And then after Rave, everything just kind of went downhill. But it was still pretty solid. I like Zombies in Spaceland, obviously, and Rave wasn't really too bad either. What makes this game really good as well is the boss fight mode. That is phenomenal. It is probably the best boss fights that we've ever seen in Zombies ever. You have Mephistopheles, which is just phenomenal. Obviously up there with one of the best boss fights of all time. You also have the Zombies in Spaceland boss fight with the aliens at the end, which is really, really cool. Really hard, but actually really fun to do. Even like some of the worst maps like Attack the Radioactive Thing has a really good boss fight. Maps like that, you just don't really think they would have really good boss fights, but then they do. And IW, they really tried with this game. Obviously, it can't compare to some of the other games we're going to talk about, like some of these other Treyarch titles, but for the time, it was all right. Now, coming up next on our list, we got Advanced Warfare. Exo Zombies is a D tier. I don't really like this one whatsoever. Probably one of my least favorite COD games of all time, and just one of my least favorite COD Zombies games as well. I didn't really like this one whatsoever. I mean, you have some decent maps like Carrier and Descent, but overall, I just don't like the mechanics. I hate the exosuits. I hate the EMP zombies that can disable the exosuits and make it impossible to play the game. I hate Infection because of all the challenges you have to do within a couple rounds after the start of the game, and then kind of just locks you into the series after like a couple of rounds passed by, which it's just annoying to play on most of these maps in general. I also don't like any of the base mechanics in this game either. It's just annoying to have to pack a punch your gun 25 times to get it to its full potential. That's just stupid. I do like some of the Easter egg steps. Like there's a couple that are really funny. Like for one of them, you have to get drunk and then you have to like throw these balls into some certain area. Really cool for that, but overall, just a really forgettable game. Don't really care too much about it. Don't really remember much about it either. So for that, definitely deserving of a D tier. Now, coming up next on our list, we got the big one, Black Ops 3. I mean, it goes in S tier. I mean, if anyone denies that, you just don't know zombies that well. Black Ops 3 is like the perfect game for everyone. If you're a casual player, you got the Giant on launch. If you're a hardcore player, you got Shadows of Evil. It appeals to both audiences, both casual and hardcore, and it's just really fun to play through on both of those maps. It's just a really great game all around. You also have Zombies Chronicles, which is just phenomenal. Still is phenomenal to this day. I still come back to play Chronicles maps because it's just that good. Best-selling DLC pack of all time as well when it comes to Chronicles. And you also have the Steam Workshop for custom maps, which is just a whole nother world when it comes to zombies. Probably the best game of all time, undoubtedly when it comes to custom maps. And I don't know if we're ever going to get a game like this one again. Hopefully we can sometime in the future. I know custom zombies is now probably a possibility again because they are moving back onto the older engines that Black Ops 3 used for Steam. So hopefully we can get that in, but for the time being, Black Ops 3 stands as pretty much the undefeated champion when it comes to COD Zombies games. Now, coming up next on our list, we got Black Ops 2. Now, Black Ops 2, I really want to put it in S tier, but I'm going to have to hold back and put it in A. Black Ops 2 was the first COD Zombies game that I started off with, so it plays a very special part in my heart because I remember playing Town when I was like really young with my brothers and whatnot. Really good times on this game. But I gotta be honest and say it's not the best. I can't put it above Black Ops 3 due to personal bias because Black Ops 3 just stands above all. So for that, I'm gonna put it just right below. Still a phenomenal game in my book. Origins, Mob of the Dead, phenomenal maps. I love Town for a survival map, but then you have just horrible things like Transit and Die Rise and just a lot of problems with this game, but also greatness came with this game. So for that, I do love Black Ops 2. For me personally, I would probably put it in S tier above Black Ops 3, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to try to avoid the personal bias on this one, and I'm going to have to put it in A tier. Still though, a phenomenal game. Now coming up next on our list, we got Black Ops 4. Now Black Ops 4, I know a lot of people are probably going to give me hate for this one, but I'm going to put it in the A tier. I personally really love Black Ops 4. For me, I didn't really find too many issues with it. I know there are some things that people hate, like there's no jug. Some of the Easter eggs are just really annoying to do, and some of the maps are kind of annoying as well. But overall, I kind of like Black Ops 4. I love Ancient Evil. Personally, it's my favorite map of all time. I love 9. It's still a very solid map. Blood of the Dead, I know a lot of people give hate for it, but it's not that bad. I do like it somewhat. And Togder Toten is obviously like a good map as well. So you already have like phenomenal maps on this game. And the perk system, granted, it was a little bit annoying to go through it, but I mean, you have Juggernaut that you can spawn in with. You have all the quick revives that you need if you're playing on solo. You don't have to spend money on that. So you spawn with that as well. And you also have Speed Cola when you get all the perks unlocked, and Double Tap when you pack a punch 4 times. Now, the pack a punch system in this game isn't perfect. It's not Exo Zombies bad, but it could be better. And there is a game that we're going to get to eventually that does it better. But overall, I do like Black Ops 4. It does have some solid maps. I do love some of the perks as well. I love the way that they did the modifiers as well, and how it was like the early stages of upgrading perks and whatnot. Really, really good game. I know a lot of people are going to give me hate for that one, but for me personally, Black Ops 4 was a very solid game. So, A tier. Alright, now coming up next, we got World at War. Good old classic World at War. I can't put it that low, but I can't really put it high either. I'm going to put it in the C tier. For me personally, World at War is kind of like that classic game you can always come back to just play zombies for killing zombies. It's just a very basic, bare bones game mode when it came to zombies. Obviously, it was the first zombies game ever and one of the first Call of Duty games ever. So it does get some slack for that. It was very primitive for the time, and it still is pretty fun to go back and play through. I love the flamethrower. That's really fun to use. The original World at War PPSH is also really good and phenomenal. I love that as well. Some of the maps were really good as well. I do love Knock for the horror aspect. I also love Verrucht. Verrucht is personally one of my favorite maps when it comes to survival maps. And Derice is obviously just a masterpiece as well. You saw some pretty decent wonder weapons like the Wonder Waff, and then obviously the introduction of the ray gun as well. Very, very iconic stuff when it comes to World at War. Very huge staples as well when it comes to zombies in general. This was kind of like the blueprint to make other zombies games and whatnot. So I can't really put it low, but I can't put it anywhere higher above these. So I'm just going to drop it in the C tier. All right, now coming up next, we got World War II. Now World War II, another D tier kind of game. Don't really like this one whatsoever. I don't think it's the worst. It doesn't belong in F tier because the Final Reich is actually a pretty decent map. But that's kind of where the good things end, is with the Final Reich. I mean, you do have like the notebook where you can do the casual Easter egg and then the hardcore Easter egg. Really, really cool, innovative for the time. But then it kind of just fell flat with the DLC season. Like, fell way flat compared to IW Zombies. Like, I never played any of the DLC maps because after the Darkest Shore, which I think was the first one, I just gave up completely on this game. There are way too many annoying things like the whistling zombies. The challenges were all right. I did like grinding this game a little bit, but then it just got way too tedious. It was way too hardcore, even for the hardcore players, which does say a lot when it comes to doing Easter eggs and whatnot. I remember one of the Easter eggs took forever to find because you had to wait for like the whole game to come out. Horrible, horrible stuff. Also has some of the worst maps and worst experiences ever, like the Tortured Path. Just horrible things with this game in general. Don't really like it. It's just known as like a bad memory for me. I do got to give it some slack though. I can't put it in F tier because the Final Reich was actually okay. I do like the wonder weapons on the map. I do like the Easter egg. It was an okay map. But for me personally, World War II doesn't really deserve to be much higher. So we're just going to keep it at D tier. All right, now coming up next, controversial opinion. We got Black Ops 1. Now, Black Ops 1, I know a lot of people are probably going to give me hate for this one. It belongs in the B tier. It's not that good of a game. The majority of this game is carried by nostalgia because a lot of people started off in Black Ops 1. Like, if you think about the majority of people who started off in zombies, it was probably Black Ops 1 Quintana. And I get it, you know, it's very nostalgic. A lot of people like it for that nostalgia effect. They like Quintana because it's like the first map they ever played. It was their introduction to zombies and whatnot. So a lot of people like to give it some slack for that. But I mean, it's just not that good. Like I said, Quintana, it does have some flaws. I prefer Doris a lot more because I hate Nova Crawlers, and that was kind of like super prevalent throughout Black Ops 1. Didn't really understand why. Ascension was kind of forgettable. It looked ugly with all the horrible colors and whatnot. Granted, these maps were fun. I did enjoy them. They're not like bad, but to say that they're up here as like one of the best, I just can't agree with that. The only map that I kind of liked on Black Ops 1 was Moon. And even then, it wasn't really that good. The only reason I liked it was because it was introducing the Easter eggs for the first time. And even then, Moon isn't really that good of an Easter egg to begin with. So, like, I don't really understand why people like Black Ops 1 so much. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure it was just because of nostalgia that people like Black Ops 1. So for that, I'm going to keep it at the B tier. Now, for our last game, we got Black Ops Cold War. Now, I know a lot of people are going to give me flack for this one. For me, personally, Cold War is an S tier. I love this game a lot. I know a lot of people are going to give me hate for that. Granted, the maps were really bad, but it made up for the horrible maps with the really good mechanics. I love the score streaks. It was a great introduction to zombies. The exfil system was revolutionary and is still like appreciated as like one of the best features ever added into zombies. Really good for that. The way that they did the leveling system and how you could upgrade your perks, your abilities, your weapons. It was just really, really fun to play this game and grind it out. I'm kind of a grindy person when it comes to games, so Cold War was definitely like one of my favorites when it came to that. I remember getting like Dark Matter after like a month after the game came out. It was really fun to grind for, really easy as well. It wasn't too hard, it wasn't too easy. It was just right when it came to the challenges for this map. Again, I do wish that some of the maps were better. Granted, you do have some good ones like Mauer or Toten and D Machine to some extent, but they just don't compare to other greats like Origins or Mob of the Dead or to Rising Drag or Shadows of Evil. They just don't compare. So for that, I personally love this game a lot. I definitely would put it up here on the S tier. Right behind Black Ops 3, I think is where that one belongs. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for that, but for me personally, I think it has better mechanics and just runs overall better than Black Ops 3. So for that, I'm going to put it at the S tier. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this video for today. As you can see with the final list that we have right here, we got Black Ops 3 taking the lead with our first pick as our #1 best zombies game of all time. And then we got Cold War Zombies right behind that. Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 4 behind that. IW and Black Ops 1 kind of on the middle ground. I'm going to put Black Ops 1 above IW, actually. I do love Black Ops 1 a little bit more than IW. And then after that, we got World at War. World War 2 as my second least favorite game. And then Advanced Warfare Exo Zombies as my least favorite game. And if Vanguard was on this list, but we're going to pretend that it doesn't exist, it would probably go in F. But yeah, I think you guys already all knew that. Anyways, it's going to wrap up this video for today. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, do all that you already know what to do. Leave your comments down below if you want to see me do any other type of content. Check out the Configuration Podcast. Haven't uploaded in a while. We're about to upload soon, so definitely wait for that as well. And yeah, I got nothing much else to say. So, peace.